Welcome back. We're going to delve into our first arts chat now. So we know that the acclaimed production, the Zulu, it's part of what celebrates the Ngema's festival, really reflecting our heritage and our history of our country at large as well. The narrative really just traces the origins of our Zulu people, highlighting the key figures and also events that shaped their society. While the performance, artfully, it also weaves together personal stories with historical moments, providing a rich tapestry that showcases the resilience and the culture at large. Perhaps to tell us a little bit more about this, we're joined in studio by director of the play, Sibusiso Mamba. Sibusiso, good morning. Thank you. I should say Ninjani. Good, Gikona as well. Yeah, thank you for joining us at this hour. I mean, being part of our heritage and storytelling, particularly for the Zulu part of Ngema at large. Tell us about the significance. What can people expect?
Yeah, so what Joburg Theatre has done is create what Mbongeni Ngema season, essentially. Yes. So we have Sarafina in the main house, which is Sarafina was trailblazing, as it
Absolutely.
was. And then the Zulu, which was his solo piece, which he performed. He returned to the stage after 27 years of not performing, and then he returned to the stage and did this piece, which is essentially the story of the Zulu Empire. So the significance is huge because they've also honored him with a star in the Joburg Theatre boardwalk, as it were. So we are part of this incredible moment of honoring one of our legends, you
Absolutely.
know, and also this particular story is our history, and as we've been working on it with the actors, you can see we've realized just how rare a moment it is, even for us as artists, to sit there and think, oh, this is about us. This is about our lives, our story, and just to have a conversation creatively that is about how we became the people that we
I mean,
are.
for people who don't know the highlights in the Zulu, tell us a little bit more about that, particularly if we're speaking to the aspects of agency and identity.
Yes. So the Zulu is the story of the Zulu Empire, beginning from the time of Shaka as king, tracing all the way up to Cetshwayo as king, and then it focuses particularly on the Battle of Isandlwana, which was the battle against the British, where the British, for the first time in their colonial history, were defeated by an indigenous nation. And so there's that's the story itself. It's how that came to be. But you know, in terms of agency, I was given the opportunity by the Ngema family and the Joburg Theatre to create this as a two-hander and to imagine it for the world now. What is it now? How can we make the story something that becomes a talking point for people who come to see it now?
And I'm glad you're speaking to that, because obviously 31 years into our own democracy, for the Zulu nation, but just for South Africa at large, there's been challenges and triumphs. And so talk to us about that adaptation. What do you want people to walk away through this experience then, as we navigate those principles, the essence of it?
And that's a great question. Thank you. It's for us to figure out where we're going.
Yes.
We need to have an understanding of how we got here. And how we got here is in these stories. How the Zulu people created an empire and had this courage and this very strong self-identity that was instilled in them by the leaders like Shaka at the time. And for us, I think now to think, where do we want to go? They had a vision as well of where they wanted to go. They wanted to be the biggest nation, the biggest because this was already happening in Europe at the same time. Those were Napoleons of the world. The British were going around. So the fact that there was this tiny little part of Southern Africa where these Africans saw themselves as emperors is incredible. But I think nowadays because we don't have the connection to where we come from a lot of the time. A lot of our stories, maybe we're inundated by stories that come from outside. We look at them as the trailblazers. Because of that, maybe there's a sense of being lost that we have, and that's what we're exploring in the play. You can see one of the characters is in a suit and and the other one is in traditional regalia. We're exploring two people who are telling this story for different reasons in different ways, and trying to understand their identity and their relationship to this history. Yeah. And I think that's something that I hope the audience walks away with a sense of whether you're Zulu or not. I'm half Swazi and half Zulu. And yes, for certain. And for me, it's been inspiring to think this is where we come from. This is where I come from. To think, oh, okay, who can I be going forward, knowing what my ancestors were and how they saw themselves in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's weaving personal stories, but also with historical, facts as well. And so it's again, to your point about completing our story, asserting ourselves into that global picture, not having it being imposed on us, and really just navigating what the future looks like. From this, immersing yourself in the creative process, which also becomes the purpose in this.
Yeah.
How were you forever changed as well? And if people also want to find out more and continue learning, immersing themselves, how do they go about doing that as well with the productions continue?
So one of the things that I've realized is we need to, as South Africans, visit these places, visit these sites, visit Roxdrift, visit Isanjwana, visit the battlefields, visit the communities that live around there. Because one of the things that we've learned doing this piece is these were real people. Yes. These were real people. So we have Babamfilisen Makubana, who's the musician in the piece. He even knows some of the families that are mentioned in the story. These were real people, and it's instead of it just being a fact and a story, these were real people who went through a real situation. And just knowing that, I think that's the biggest thing that's changed me. Just knowing that this man's great-grandfather or this woman's great-grandmother was involved, was one of the people who cooked for the warriors. So our history is alive, it's now, and that is something that I am definitely, it's something that I want to dig deeper into, and I hope that people coming to see the story will realize that they were humans. Because sometimes when you look at history or we look at the news, it's just, you can be detached.
Absolutely.
But no, when you know that these were real people who dealt with the situation in a real way, hopefully that makes you go, well, what would I have done in this situation? Yeah.
And the age-old saying, the only thing that is constant is change. Yes. And the more things change, the more they stay the same as well. Thank you for your time at this hour and for sharing such an important part of our nation's history, but also just a part of that social cohesion, nation-building projects as well. I'm going to leave the conversation there for now. The Zulu production, of course, it's a powerful celebration of heritage and history. It weaves together stories, traditions, really to create a rich and unforgettable experience. And you do not want to miss this, of course. Sibusiso Mamba, the director there, just joining us and chatting a little bit further.